All right, man.
All right. On the top left corner, I got my tag team partner for 20 years, Curtis Keith. And on the bottom center of my screen, I've got one half of the greatest tag team ever seen in NWA wrestling, Hall of Famer, Ricky Morton.
Hey, guys, thank you very much. You know what? And I like what you just said about your partner. See, because when I'm with Robert all the time, he tells me, ladies and gentlemen, this is my partner, Ricky Morton. And I got to say, Robert, no, I'm your wrestling partner.
Oh, yeah. We wrestling partners. Yeah.
Yeah, we wrestling partners, please. Okay. Hey, everybody in the building will be looking at me going, but it's okay. Hey, I don't care. It's okay.
That's right.
What's up, gentlemen?
All right, Ricky, we're going to go, we each got some questions just to rapid fire to you. Just curious. We've heard some interviews with you. Not going to get into too deep of stuff. Mainly wrestling.
It don't matter. Bro, I don't give a shit what you talk about, man.
Okay, well, that's even
you
better.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's what we're on here for, dude. Hey, and I appreciate this very much. And understand me, it's not just for me. It's a lot of my friends that are out here that since this coronavirus shit, they're not working.
Yeah.
And I promise you, okay, what you did for me today for this, I sent it to them.
Okay. Hey, well, do that. Contact me. We want to do them all. I mean, from Robert to, I don't care.
Yeah.
Any of your 80s guys, I'll help out any of them I can.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I took what you gave me and I sent it to a couple of the boys, that are just barely making it. Okay. Thank you so much. So because I'd usually do this because I like doing them. I have fun. I have my own podcast too. Right. School of Morton podcast. So,
we follow.
All right, cool. Thank you, guys.
All right, let's start with this. Your pops was a wrestling trainer, had a wrestling school, much like you do now. You started back when you was in the 20s. But let's talk about when you met Robert Gibson, when Jerry Lawler, I guess, booked you together with Robert Gibson to become the Rock and Roll Express. Can you tell me about?
Man. But I met Robert long before that.
Okay.
We wrestled at a territory for Nick Goulas out of Nashville, Tennessee, and then the time. Robert was tag team partners with his brother. If you ever met Robert Gibson's brother, he was one of the best workers ever in the business. Ricky and Robert Gibson. But and I teamed up. I went through a lot of partners, and the reason why is to learn. And see, my dad, we didn't have wrestling schools back then. Understand me. We pulled the wrestling ring. My dad, who worked for Nick Goulas, he pulled the ring, and we had to go help him do it when I was a kid. And then when we got the ring set up, and my dad, which I followed in his footsteps, we get there early. Okay, he got that ring up early, and we'd train in the ring, and I learned so much from my dad. My dad was a referee. He worked in the late 50s, early 60s. But to get back to what I'm saying, when I went through a bunch of tag team partners, Eddie Gilbert was my partner. Sonny King was one of my partners. But to me, the best one I ever learned from more than anything was a guy named Ken Lucas. And Ken Lucas and I were in San Antonio, Texas, working for Joe Blanchard. Matter of fact, Tully Blanchard, Gino Hernandez, I was a young kid in the business there getting and trying to learn, and that's what about our business. Before you can be in our business, you got to understand it. And going through, when you're 19, 18, 20 years old, and I try to tell a lot of folks this in the business. When you think you know everything in our business, and really you don't know shit, and I'm not being mean. I'm just trying to tell you this. You got to understand our business before you can do our business. I was wrestling in San Antonio. Jerry Lawler was booked that night. I think he was wrestling Nick Bockwinkel in San Antonio. And at that time, you had a tag team called the Fabulous Ones, Stan Lane and Steve Kern. They were in Memphis, Tennessee. That's where Robert and I started, at Memphis. We'll get back to there because I'm jumping. Man, like a rubber ball. I'm just bouncing.
Okay, shoot at it.
But so when he come, so we went to Lawler come there, and they had the fabulous ones, dude. I'm telling you, they were over. Son of a bitch, they were over. God Almighty. But you know, and when you get over like that, and you're in a territory, you know, Jerry Lawler's the main guy. We get to this in a minute. Remind me to come back to this.
Okay.
You know, he's the main guy, but and you can't fight City Hall. The fabulous ones was doing this, and him and Jarrett got into it. So Lawler was going to open up his own territory in Memphis and be opposition of Jarrett. He wanted. He talked to me about it that night, and said, "I want to put you and Robert Gibson together because you know we grew up there in Memphis. You know, as kids, you know, starting their wrestling, and Jerry knew what we were capable of doing, and being. And so I gave my notice, and I went to Memphis. But when we got there, Lawler and Jarrett already made up. So they, you know, but we're trying to think of a tag team. Ricky, Robert, R&R, and Jimmy Hart was there. You know, Jimmy Hart, the Gentry's, the Rock and Roll, and and it just come up. What Jimmy Hart? Why don't you name them the Rock and Roll Express? You know, R&R, not Ricky and Robert Express, but the Rock and Roll Express. And dude, I never forget our first day we wrestled. It was on for some reason Memphis was on Sunday. It was an afternoon show because Memphis was usually on a Monday night. I think they had a basketball game in the Coliseum that night. And we're thinking of a gimmick. We've been looking through rock and roll books. So they had a flea market out at the, you know, back in the back out there in the Coliseum. So me, Robert, and Lawler went over there. Man, we bought feathers. We bought bandanas. We bought this stuff. And Lawler brought us some long tights, and this is really cool, dude. One pair that I got, it was like purple, but the one Robert got was like skin color, like a goldish skin color. And when he put them on and from far off, he looked naked. You hear me? So even everybody, but they put us together, and we didn't know, man. They picked that. Yeah, I got to say the one thing about Memphis at that time, man. They were pushing the videos. You know, they made videos of us, the Rock and Roll Express. Man, this is like MTV. I'm not bullshitting you. So, man, we was there, and our first day, me and Robert just clicked. It's one thing that makes a great tag team is you got to click, and you can't. And after all, you know, we've been tag team partners, wrestling partners, for 38 years, dude. It's still going strong. But when we came out, I mean, we went out and, man, we had a hell of a match. And we came back, and some guy, one of the fans, he said, man, when y'all come out, I said, how do you know if y'all was gypsies or Indians? He said, but damn, y'all were good. You know how that country slang goes. It's just something that, but, you know, Memphis, but now I'm going to get back to what I was going to tell you. And Robert and I were at the greatest place and the greatest time for this business. And the reason why, and I have people ask me this all the time about territory wrestling. Do you wish the territories were still back? No, because you got to understand, either a top baby face on the territories. You hear me? Mm-hmm. And I promise you, you're not going to get over him. It was great for Hills because Hills could go into territories and have a good year run to do that. And at this time is when Bill Watts. So you think about this and all the videos. They sent the videos of us into Louisiana to go there. But Bill Watts, you know, man, Bill Watts is what, 6'7", 350 pounds. And when we walked in the dressing room down there, man, I felt like Cowboy Lane, a little midget. Everybody was so big, and you're doing it. So see, this is our business is being at the right place at the right time, but knowing what you're doing. Here we go. We walk in the dressing room, and Bill Watts just finished up an angle with Abdullah the Butcher. So when you finish up like that, when you did tear that top heel, that turned him babyface. You see? because another hill's coming in. So Abdullah's got to get that hill ready for that hill to beat Abdullah for he can wrestle Bill Watts. Do you see what I'm talking about there? That's the way it works.
Yes,
That's the way it worked, guys, in territories. Okay. But Bill Watts wanted to retire. So Bill Dundee went in as a booker, and God, I got him and Bill Watts really believed in us. So we went to a territory that wasn't drawing that. And all of a sudden, here on TV, you see these young All-American kids, and they're smart, dude. Let me tell you, when you get a good booker that's smart, here, Bill, they had Nikolai Volkov and Barry Dorso, which was Crusher Khrushchev. Mm-hmm. All-American boys against the Russians. They shot those videos. We come in on TV. The same thing we did with Ivan and Barry. We won the NWA world titles when we went in North Carolina. We went right on TV and we beat them. But then after the match, they beat us up and put me in the chain and tied me in the ropes and beat us up. And instantly, it popped the territory. And believe me, it's to be somewhere when the business, you only draw 800 people, and then you're going from 800 to 2,000. The next week it's 6,000 people, and the next week it's 10,000 people. That's something, man. I mean, it really blows your mind to be a part of that. But that's how we got started. Let's go on, man. Y'all
Curt,
get me on the road, bro. I ain't stopping.
I see that. Curt, go ahead and hit him with more.
Yeah. First, I just wanted to say thanks for doing this with us today. And just kind of want to explain what you, the Rock and Roll Express, kind of meant to me growing up. Like, y'all are a big part of the pop culture DNA of my childhood. It's like Batman and Robin, Han Solo, Chewbacca, the Fonz, and Ricky and Robert. That was my childhood growing up.
Cool, but, that's a great compliment. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
But I got to imagine probably having fame and notoriety in the 1980s is probably about the wildest era you could ever have fame and notoriety. I was just wondering if you wanted to kind of if people weren't around to see y'all then, I don't think they know just how huge y'all were. You could describe what that was like.
Did y'all happen to listen? And man, this really gave me cold chills when I heard this. Did you happen to listen to Steve Austin and Ric Flair's podcast? Oh, for WWE last week.
I have listened, not last week.
Beg your pardon?
Not last week.
Not last week.
Oh, well, they just got one come off WWE.
Okay.
And it's something, and I'm not taking away from nobody, but when Ric Flair tells Steve Austin that I was in the top 5 of the most over wrestlers ever, and the top 2 baby faces in the whole world. That's a compliment, buddy. But I ain't sitting there trying to pat myself on the back. But seeing this business, I grew up in the business, and you got to learn what it's about. Now I have a wrestling school. It's called School of Morton. It's on Facebook. I'd love for y'all to go and catch it. Now, where you guys out of?
We live in Lugoff, South Carolina.
Near Columbia.
Oh, okay.
We're close to Columbia.
I can't blame you for that. Okay, that's all right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Tennessee boy. But in our business, and I keep saying that in our business, I'll repeat myself 100 times. You have to put yourself at a point, and it's not that. And I try to, people ask me all the time, Ricky Morton, let me pick your brain. But guys, you can't pick my brain. I got to get into your brain to make you understand what I'm thinking, what I make you to understand. And every time I got in that ring, if you notice, all the years of me and Robert being Pat, you got the heat on me, and I gave Robert the hot tag. And the reason why it's like that is when you're in that ring, when you can make, and I get on guys, I can sell one kick to the head better than I can 37. I can sell one punch better than I can 37. And when you're in there, because it's not unbelievable. I tell guys this all the time. I said, damn, man, you kicked me 100 times. I said, in real life, if you kick me 100 times, my ass is dead. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You're dead. Why don't you give me one and let me sell it for you? Because when you give me that one and let me sell it for you, if I can make that guy on the front row right there at 6 feet from me believe that you're killing me, what do you think about the people up there in that top balcony you're thinking? This is how you draw money. I was at an era where a lot of people depended on me. I was never on a contract. Well, I always got paid by how many asses were in the seats. We didn't get paid by ratings on TV, but the boys depended on me. And that's a big thing to say. Here we go again, but I might as well speak the truth. And because I hold back. I don't like hurting people's feelings. I don't like to be out here and thinking that I have the answers to everything, because I don't. I'm not a really educated guy. So this is the first time I really talk about this on any podcast. And I'm going to tell you guys, I grew up in the business. It was hard. I grew up on a farm. My daddy refereed wrestling. We went with him. We worked on the farm. I had to help pay bills there. Recently, my wife taught me how to read. Did you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Can't use a computer. I'm working on it. And I'm telling you this, but when it comes to this wrestling business, and this is what hurt me in every major wrestling company, because I don't know how to use an iPad. I don't know how to do this stuff, and they want you to do that today. But see, what they don't have is what I have here. It's a difference when you see guys, even on TV today, that you think that are the greatest wrestlers in the world. They get paid every week, no matter what. And it's something to be in this business here or to be here. Because when I have 50 guys in a territory dependent on me to sell out a building every week, to pay bills, see, that's a whole different thing. Now you understand what I'm saying? Not just me, the Midnight Express, Ole Arn, Tully, Ric Flair. And I got to say, and I'd get to this later, but see, when you get in a position like that, this is something nobody even knows about. I watch some of the big organization wrestling. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it right. But it's a lot of things I can do to help them. A lot of things I can do to help them. But the people that they got in there right now, they damn sure don't want my ass in there. You hear me? Because I understand what the business. I can tell you what's going to draw money and ain't going to draw money. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm 63 years old. My time is over. I still wrestle because I have to. I'm still in the business because I never made my biggest wrestling year in the business is $125,000. It's the biggest I had. See, because then the promoters had the first count. We were literally actually robbed. But what can I say? And what can I say is that I wasn't educated enough to know what they were doing to me. I was working on top, brother, and the stories that you hear about the Rock and Roll Express, they're damn right true. A lot of them, but well, you just don't. I mean, it was a different time, different place. 1985, and I never did nothing against nobody's will. You hear me? Mm-hmm. I never did take that, but holy shit, I'd probably be in prison. I don't know. Shit, not only me, but everybody. We was in the time. I'm going to write a book when I get somebody good that can sit here and bear with me. I don't know what to call it. Sex, drugs, and the Rock and Roll Express, or
yes.
I don't. I don't know. But man, what I was trying to tell you is it's a whole different thing. And all the guys that you see that worked on top, they were here, but they don't know what it's about. You see, you watch these shows right here on that they go to the same town once a year, mm-hmm. and I promise you, they ain't sold out. We're in the same town every week, hanging from the fucking rafters. Excuse my language. Okay, and that's the thing, because that was my job. I had to do that to feed the guys that were underneath them. They had house notes. And I'm telling you, every territory we went into, everybody drove a new car. Oh, you see, everybody had a nice place to live.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't even have contracts. We got paid by the ticket sales, and that was after the promoter got first count. Okay, that's all right, man.
All right. Well, let's talk about this. Let's single it into you guys versus the Midnight Express and Jim Cornette. That was the biggest rivalry in sports in the 80s. That drew it all. I know you fought the Russians, you fought the Road Warriors and all them, but you guys versus the Midnight Express and Jim Cornette probably sold more seats than anything, in your 80s career. Talk to me about working with those guys and Jim Cornette.
Well, it was a thing that just naturally clicked. We would go to the territories first. When you see this on NWA, that wasn't the first one. We did this in different territories, and we always popped it. It would go in with the videos. They get us over. Man, we'd win the belts, and here come the Cornette. But see, we wouldn't wrestle them right then. They be wrestling guys going over on TV, beating them in 30 seconds, hitting them with tennis rackets, had more heat than an eye of a stove, buddy. I'm not kidding you. Jimmy Cornette was talking, but he was always talking the Rock and Roll Express. And you see it when you have territories like that, we're the baby faces, just like a pyramid. You have your heels here, and you have your baby faces here. And the heels are beating everybody to here. And then the baby faces, we went into here, then we beat the Midnight Express. And always understand this. You can never draw money in this business being a champion. You hear what I'm saying? The people pay to see you beat the heels. But the heels screw you every week. They screw your ass. They beat you. You hear me? They screw you. Not just beat you in the middle, because then they screw you. And that's what it is. And when we'd meet them, Jimmy Cornette hit us with that tennis racket. First night, boom, I popped my head and die. And you see, then it's instantly right there. Then you get on TV and do your interviews and come back, and Jimmy Cornette will tell everybody how bad he beat our ass. And they was running the whole time. And me, and I try to tell guys this all the time. It's hard to do an interview, especially when you're a babyface, when you're going to tell the heel you're going to whoop his ass every week, and he screws you. It kills you off. If you go back to see my interviews, especially when I did the ones with Flair, I backed up. He hit the rig and he be hollering, and I back up to the corner, and I'm acting like I don't want to. But see, in real life, when that cat backs that mouse up in that corner, that mouse is going to come out of that fight. He might not win, but his ass is going to fight that cat.
Right.
You see? That's the way our business is. And you said a while ago, and I don't care what anybody says, Rock and Roll Express and Midnight Express would go down in history as the greatest feud ever. And the reason that the guys these days don't understand is because they don't know, they wasn't there.
Right.
Buddy, I mean, when we first went back up to there, that's in Greensboro, North Carolina. That's when they invented security. Gosh, we pull into the back of the Greensboro Coliseum, and the first time we was there, we were trapped in our cars for 2 hours. They had to bring police in just to get us out. Robert just bought a brand new Trans Am, and it just drove up in the back where they put the fences up. People's faces were smashed against the windows. They was on top of the car. That car looked like it'd been through a rock car wash. Bam, 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 like a hailstorm. I ain't kidding you, man. It tore his car all to hell. But it was like that every night, and it's hard for you to believe. The matches will be over. The girls, and they be jockeying for positions, following us out. I see some hellation. And I used to tell them, man, I'm getting ready to leave. I said, chill out. We're going to the store down here. I said, because you're going to wreck and kill everybody. Y'all cutting people off and boom on the interstates. And then it got to the point where the police had to escort us out of the buildings, put police car, one in front of us and one behind us to get us out of the damn county. And it really was. It was like that every night. when you go into the North Carolina and you run, you run 2 towns. You run Greenville, South Carolina, every Monday, and Fayetteville, North Carolina. Like we do 3 months in Greenville, then 3 months in Fayetteville. 2 angles. Us and the Midnight Express at one town, and probably Flair and Magnum in another town, Flair and Dusty. And it's the same way. But see, when Robert and I went into North Carolina, and you're talking about somebody smart, see, Dusty I learned a lot from him. You hear me? Now, we always didn't get along. Me and him had a lot of fuck you fights.
Yeah.
You hear me? Yeah, but it's business. You understand me? Because we got over, dude. I'm not shitting you. We got over in Carolina. So when you get over the Booker, it's hard. But Dusty was a smart man. Before we come in, it did the same thing. We worked with the Russians. We went right in with the Russians because we just finished up Louisiana, and the Midnight Express are still there. You see? So we go in to get over into North Carolina, and we wrestled Ivan Koloff and Barry Dorso, but they beat Dusty and Magnum TA. No, it was Dusty and Manny Fernandez for the world titles.
Right.
You see? So Dusty put them over. They have beat everybody in the territory, not once, but twice. And then here, the All-American boys, they shot these videos on TV. And then we come in and we're meeting them in Shelby, North Carolina for our first fight. And when you get there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's a line wrapped around that building 14 times. Hell, I'm exaggerating. But you understand what I'm saying? And you can't believe it, but we gave the people something to see. And it was the greatest. The 80s to me was the greatest time of our business, because right after that, you got guys that got in positions. It's like NWA sold to WCW. Then they put people in charge like Jim Herd and everything. And the reason why is they didn't want, I don't know, but it still ain't come to mind, but they didn't want people in charge that knew anything about wrestling. They brought Jim Herd in there over a pizza place, put a team together called the Ding Dongs from Bellsville. You dumbass. And then, then it got where it was no fun no more. You see, and then Robert got hurt, and they turned me heel with the York Foundation. And as soon as Robert got better, I wrestled Robert on a pay-per-view. Then me and him packed our bags up with Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I had to get away from that shit, dude. But the only bad thing about it is that's when they were signing contracts. And I tried, I wanted a job, but they didn't understand. I wanted a job putting the damn ring up. I just wanted anything. Yeah, I'd have been a referee. You see, because that's that guaranteed money. But when you go in there and you have people that get in charge after Jim Herd, and they sign themselves to $5 and $6 million a year contracts that don't know the difference between a headlock and a fucking armbar, you see what it did to our business. All right, man. What's the next question? Shit, y'all done got me on the look. I'm gonna slam this goddamn table. Y'all, no, I'm just kidding.
I want to talk about your feud with Flair, like right through the training bra on your head, and so that's the Rock and Roll Express's fans, and then it went on from there. Why did they never put the belt around your waist? You always wanted to not.
Well, baby, I'll get into that, but I was gonna tell you too. In the Memphis, you was talking about Ric Flair. Do you know Randy Savage and I was the first one to ever go through a table? I wanted to mention that because something just went across my mind right there, and forget about this. Now, my feud with Ric Flair, they were grooming Magnum TA to be the world heavyweight champion, and Magnum had a car wreck, paralyzed, broke his neck. And then you're left there. Who can you bring in? And which is 1,000 people you can bring in, but it's people that you always brought in. All right, this is bad here too, so don't think I'm an asshole, but I'm just going to, they just let all the guys go from WWE. Bless your hearts, guys. I mean, really, but I've been in a lot of territories where they fired my ass and they fired Robert Gibson and they fired Michael Hayes and Dr. Death too. You know, fuck. I mean, I've been through that 100 times, but I always remember tomorrow's a brand new day. But when you got a territory starting and you bring people in that's already been on WWE, and I'm not being mean to you guys, when the hell are you going to start off? Where are you going to start? I mean, if they don't want you, I mean, so you're going to come here. So is that going to make your wrestling better than theirs? Well, no, it ain't. You got to create, and that's what I do, man. You got to create new talent. I wrestle independents, man, all over the place, and I see some of the greatest talent in the world, if only they had a chance. But see, that's why I have my wrestling school for, because I will prepare you, make you understand our business. See, our business has been at the right place at the right time, but knowing what to do when they asked you that. That's the main key, is knowing what to do. But then I had the opportunity here because Robert, so for some reason, he I don't know if he had to go back home or something in his family, but I was at TV in Rock Hill, South Carolina. And this is after Magnum's wreck, and I wrestled with you remember the Rock and Roll RPMs? Mm-hmm. It wasn't Mike, it was the other guy. I had a single match with him on TV, and we absolutely tore the damn house down. And when I come back, Rick talked Jimmy Crockett and them about me wanting to do angle with me because, well, I was over like some bitch there. Oh, yeah. And that's great. See, now understand, this is what I just told you a while ago. Right place, right time. And when they throw it at you, you know how to catch that ball, baby. You hear me? Mm-hmm. I was right there. I knew what they were going, and I knew who we were going with this. Now let's get into a situation, which I will tell you about the angle here in a minute. Now it's Ric Flair, the world champion. I don't give a shit what nobody ever says. You have people that you've seen a lot of worlds. Ric Flair is the greatest world champion ever in this business. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you paid a ticket to see Ric Flair, you damn sure got your money's worth. When I first started my angle with Rick, me and him went 17 straight nights. Now listen to me, 17 straight days. Hour matches. Now, come Saturday, we did Atlanta TV, which come on at 6:05, but that was taped early in the morning. We did 2 shows on Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, we did 2-hour Broadways on that Saturday, then we did 2 hours the next day. And then back on that Monday night, it was another hour Broadway. 17 straight hour Broadways in a day. Now, Ric Flair being from Charlotte, and I never forget, this is one of my greatest ones. And Philadelphia, I don't know if you guys ever been to Philly. That's the greatest heel town in the world. That's a heel town. I don't give a shit. You're a baby face. They boo the shit out of you, you know. And but that's where you got to learn. Now, I went to Philly. Me and Flair are going to do an hour. And see, this is what makes, buddy. You got to understand. I wrestled a guy not long ago, and he told me, he says, "Hey, you know, the people are probably going to cheer me a little bit when I go to the ring." And I looked at him. I said, "They're going to cheer you because you want them to." You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Guys, stop to think about this when I'm talking to you. They're going to cheer you because you want them to cheer you. You don't know how to fucking work. You don't know what our business is about. And it's right. And not put down follow, but I was wrestling Flair. I went to the ring with Flair. I was in that ring. I went to the ring first, and, dude, they hit me with everything but the kitchen sink. They're throwing shit at me. You cool faggot, man, this bullshit, Queen damn time, by the time, you know. Here comes Flair. Boom, his music, boy, they're losing they're loving it. Okay. 10 minutes in that match, Ric Flair turned that crowd. They were throwing shit. Now, this is what you got to stop and really look at. They had the barricades by the ring. Rick had so much heat, they pushed the barricades all the way to the ring. All right? Arn Anderson seen that, so Arn come down to the ring trying to get down there to push him back. So Robert had to come down, and they couldn't even get to the damn ringside. And Rick looked at me. He said, man, I'm going to throw you over the top rope and get disqualified. If I don't, they're going to absolutely kill my ass before I get out of this ring. And he waved to the right time where they got the cops down there by bomb, and he threw me over the top rope and jumped and ran back to the back. You see, do you understand what a worker is now? Do you understand what our business is about? That's how great this guy was. The natural thing in our business is to get heat. You know, I was the young baby face there, the tinny boppers. Rick, you know, opportunity comes, you take it. And guys, trust me, we didn't have writers for us. Normally, even with the Midnight Express and Evilly and her, our business was so sacred, you never even got your damn finish till you went to the ring. Baby faces and heel never talked over a match. When you seen Ric Flair and me do that on TV, we ad-libbed that whole damn thing. That's what makes good workers, you hear me? We ad-libbed it. We didn't in the back going over, I'm going to pull this out right here, and you're going to pull my sunglasses off, and you're going to slap me. I just did it. And let me tell you, that was a $500 pair of sunglasses I smashed too. But Ric Flair probably made $300,000 off that angle. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It don't matter. And every time, buddy, every time you see him hit the ring on me, that wasn't planned in the back. But he just did it. You see, that's how, and that's what I'm trying to tell guys here. You got to know what to do when opportunity comes. When it comes to knocking, baby, you got to be there rocking. You got to know to be at the right place. But Ric Flair, guys, this is what he was the greatest ever. I mean, I love, man. It was, you know, it was all about selling these buildings out and keeping your territory going. I mean, it's the greatest time. But don't get me wrong now, Dusty, you know, he was back there in the back. Dusty's smart son of a bitch, buddy. But he was one he knew our business. I learned a lot. You know, a lot of times when we shot the angles, you see, like I was telling you earlier, I got to make you understand what's in my head. You can't pick my brain. I got to get into your brain to make you understand what I want. See, and a lot of times people used to get hot at the bookers because they put their own self in the angles because they know what they wanted and they're looking at their talent. What talent can do it and who can't do it? And Dusty would tell me that. You know, he told me, and I got to tell you this, guys. And, you know, Dusty told me, he said, you were one of the best I ever met in the business. He says, you're an all-American baby face. I got a lot of scars on my head. You see that? But this wasn't about me being somebody that I'm not. I hated doing that. But understand this, for every scar, every drop of blood that ran out of the top of my head, it paid the wrestlers' bills. Okay? It paid my bills. They depended on me to do that.
Well, speaking of paying the bills, and you was making at that time good money. I mean, $125,000 back then is a good money.
Yeah, but it's through a divorce.
Oh,
go through a divorce today.
Well,
No, go ahead.
What's the one thing, the big ticket item you bought with that chunk of change? Was it a car, a house, a trip, gold watch?
House, buddy. I bought a house, and guys, when a man don't have no rights, you hear me? You get a divorce, you don't get nothing. You know, I didn't give my damn car. I had a 56 Chevrolet I bought when I was 16 years old. I couldn't even get that son of a bitch, you know? But no, a house, dude. I wasn't the guy that bought a lot of jewelry. And I didn't really, I wear my Hall of Fame ring a lot because I'm proud of that. But as to wear jewelry and that stuff, I don't. My life was, I never was a proud guy. I don't like to be around people. You know, that was Ric Flair's gimmick. That wasn't mine. You know, Rick, yeah, and let me tell you, dude, I mean, when he told you he had on a $5,000 pair of shoes, he had on a $5,000 pair of shoes. I ain't bullshitting you. Tell you a good story about Rick. And I told this on his podcast, and boy, he laughed his butt off. I had left Carolinas at the time. I got my ass fired. But I was doing a show, and I came back into Charlotte. And I walked into a bar about 2 o'clock in the morning, and Rick was in there, and that was when he was married to Bev, his wife, Charlotte's mother, and all them. He was drunker than hell, and him and Bev were fighting like a son of a bitch. They going in the bathroom. He'd follow right in the bathroom. He didn't give a shit. Well, they're following. The manager's coming. Right? So Ricky comes to me and he said, "Let's go to my boat." I said, "Go to your boat? It's 3 o'clock in the morning." He said, "No, I don't go to my." And you can't tell this son of a bitch no. No, it ain't happening. You going? So my wife now and with my girlfriend at the time. Hell, we get in the car and here we go. I get in the back of that damn car he's got. And we're doing 120 miles an hour, 3 o'clock in the morning down the interstate. And I reach up and tap him on the shoulder. I said, are we late going to this damn boat? Slow this son of a bitch down. But I didn't know. I thought we were just going out on a little boat. Hell, we get to the lake. At there, South Carolina Lake, right there by Rock Hill. I don't know what lake it is down there. Yeah, we're eating a lot. Big old lake. Look here, he got not just a houseboat. This son of a bitch is five stories high. You hear me? It's too damn big for the lake. God, he had to call a guy to get out of bed to come over and drive it. You see what I'm saying? This is big. So it took us 20 minutes to back that bastard out to get it. So we get on this boat, man. We go on. It's dark. You can't see shit. And Rick tells me, because you got to understand this time is busy. He said, "Come on, I want to show you something." We went up these steps, and we come back out on top. And there's a little building on top, with aluminum ladder. So Rick goes up the ladder, and I'm going up looking, and it's high because you can't see shit, but you can see the boat. But what he was going to show me is we had a satellite dish. He had TV on there. That was a big deal then, right? But Rick stood up on that boat, and I'm holding this ladder, and all of a sudden, Ricky slips, boom, hits that, and he does about 10 cartwheels off this son of a bitch. Look here. And I looked down, I'm going, fuck. Damn. I'm glad that wasn't me. So I got to go find a damn guy driving the boat. I says, "Man, Rick fell off the boat." Where? I don't fucking know, dude. He fell off back yonder, turn this son of a bitch around. And it takes him forever to turn it around. And I can't hear. And I told the guy, I said, "Cut the damn motor off." And I could hear somewhere, "Help." And everybody's going, "He's over here. He's over there. He's over here. Shut the fuck up, man. Everybody shut up." So finally, it had a big old spotlight on it. And I turned that bastard on up there. You could see Mars in this light. I had that line. Look, I know it had to blind the piss out of him. I was trying to find him. Did I find him way over there? Help. So we get over there to him. And the closer we get, the waves get him back. So I grab that thing and I throw it to him, and it got no damn rope on it. It goes over his head way over there. So finally we get close enough, they got to get big pole, and I bring him in. Now remember, this is what I was saying earlier. Rick had suit up. Always wore a suit, doesn't you? Always did. When I pulled Rick out of this damn, the only thing he had on, he had a necktie on, one sock, his underwear, all his shit hanging out the side of that. He's a proud man, buddy. I'm going, damn, don't look, Andrew, too late. She done got a free shot. No, but, brother, well blessed. I pull him in and I lay him on the damn floor. And said, I done went and told Bev. I said, Bev, man, he fell off the boat. She didn't move. She's still sitting on the couch. drinking. Pull him in and I throw him on the floor, and he's up. If he wasn't in shape, he'd have drowned him. He threw it in water run over 20 minutes. You hear me? I threw him on the floor, and he's laying there. He's going, damn, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. And Bev, out of the corner of her mouth, yeah, you lucky I didn't let you drown. And I'm thinking, you ain't even got up off that goddamn couch, you know? But that's a true story with Rick.
That's a good one.
I don't know how we got into that conversation, but
I don't either.
But
I like
it. But Rick, and say this, even as to now, but he's still a son of a bitch, man. I love him. I learned a lot from him in the business. You see, when you learn from the best, that's when you're all the best. And you know what? And I'm 63 years old, and I still have a lot to offer this business. Oh, yeah. It's not the part about wrestling; it's part about teaching and learning. It's sad sometimes when you think, you know, because I do try to get a job at some of the big offices of big businesses. Because like I told you, I still got a lot to offer. I still got a lot to teach people. Our business, it's not dead. Right. You just got to have people that know what they're doing, and let me sit down with them for a year or two to make them understand our business. Look here, do you work? You work?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You okay? It's like I try to tell somebody the other day. You know, you grab a headlock, you give a guy a tackle, you can leapfrog, you can hip toss, you can drop kick, but so can everybody else in that fucking dressing room. But there's only few that know how to work and know how to draw money. And I'm telling you the truth, guys. And that's what our business is missing. When you give a guy a push on TV, you can say, "Oh, he sucks. He sucks." No, he don't suck. You just don't know. They got him on top for a reason. They're good people, do good shit. But it's not the part that put asses and ratings on TV. You know, and I could tell the fans are getting frustrated with a lot of shit like that, you know? And you got to be able to trust the guy that you get in the ring with. You got to be able to have, you got to know how to dance. You got to know how to create magic with each other. You know, our business is not like, it's like being a musician, playing a guitar. You know, it's a gift. And being a great worker is a gift.
Curt, shoot at him. Give him another question here.
I got a question. What did it finally feel like to get inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame? Because I know me and Ryan, we were happy for you because every year when they announce the nominees, we were like, "Where's the Rock and Roll Express at?" So I imagine that.
Yeah, well, Robert and I guess the only two who's ever been inducted to the Hall of Fame that never even wrestled for WWE. Now, don't get me wrong, we did some shots for WWF. Never signed a contract with them. Never was that. We just went in and did a few shows for them. But what it's like now, you look at all the notoriety that people get, and sometimes you get, it just makes you think that they forgot. But really, and really what got it, and what I'm leading up to this, okay, is Matt and Jeff Hardy are real good friends of mine. And it's not the part about that we hang out and go to supper, but in the business. And let me tell you, buddy, in this business, I treat people the way they treat me. If you're good to me, I'm good back to you. But if you're an asshole, I'll treat you back like an asshole. It's just the way it is. It won't be the first time I had my ass whooped. And probably won't be the last. But Matt and Jeff were doing their thing with TNA, and Matt called. He said, "Man, I want y'all to come up to my place here." We hadn't been on TV forever. You understand what I'm saying? And so we went up. That's when they put me in the cherry picker and put me up in the sky down for that son of a bitch. But you see, they seen us on TV, and it made people remember all of a sudden. And then I got a call from WWE, and guys, I want you to listen to this now, and you be on the other side now. We just did this on TV, and nobody's heard from us. Me and Robert were just tickled pink because we, got a little plug on TNA. WWE calls and says, listen, and it's hard, I'm trying to put this together here. Listen, guys, we have the Hall of Fame. And our Hall of Fame can't be legit, and it couldn't be real if we didn't have the Rock and Roll Express in it. Greatest tag team ever. Dude, y'all, tears ran down my face. Serious. But I just, it just, like, you ever had that cold chill and it just hits you, and I'm trying to trail my wife, and she's going, what's wrong? And I'm trying to tell her, I said, man, they're going to put us in the Hall of Fame. Wow. They flew, and I got to say this, WWE, they flew us everything, me, my wife, and my family's first class. The whole hotel at Disney, down in Orlando, Vince rented the whole son of it. He even had a water park out back, better than Dollywood. You hear me? I ain't shitting you, but you couldn't believe this place. And you couldn't get in there either, dude. They had security. And I guess because Linda was there, she worked for Donald Trump. But not only that, Vince had that all cut off, buddy. You could. It's like going into Fort Knox to get in that place, and it was great. And and they didn't stick you in a little bitty 2-bedroom hotel. My kids dude, we had suites. They were unbelievable. I'm bigger than my damn house here. Everything first class. Just absolutely first class. I never been treated so. And then when we got there, and you got to understand, being on the set behind WrestleMania, dude, you think they're making a movie. There's shit going on everywhere. And and it's it's the greatest experience. That ought to be something that WWE should do, is have a person or two people win a backstage pass just to watch what goes on. It's holy shit, dude. When we got there out back, because you're in a football stadium, that's not a Hall of Fame, but you're in the building down there. But when you go to WrestleMania and you're in a big old football stadium, but you're not in a locker room. They got a big old bus for you out back. There's 1,000 of them out there. Everybody has their own. Here, me and my family goes on this big old bus. It's all customized out, 12 bedrooms. No, I'm just kidding. But, it's badass. That was for us to spend our time till we come out. I was thinking, holy shit, this is very cool. So to put it to you bluntly, being inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame was one of the greatest moments in my life in the business. I had a lot of great moments. It's up there with winning the world titles, NWA world titles for the first time, and then winning the NWA world titles for the 9th time, because when Billy Corgan and them bought that, I had no clue. Now listen to me, this is what I like about this right here. There's no clue that we were going to win the belts. You hear me? I'm serious. We didn't even know. It's like they come to me like 10 minutes, and I was wrestling Thomas and Roy. I said, listen, and Jimmy Cornette, he says, you're going to win the world titles tonight. I said, what are you talking about, Jimmy? I'm 63 years old. He says, no. But you see, and a lot of people, they go, Ricky Morton, why don't you retire? Let somebody else take your place. But you got to stop to listen to this. The whole interview that I have done on you all night is you got to understand our business. And after they done it, I understood why they put the belts on us. And it's you have to be in our business to understand. See, that's a great opportunity. I think last year Robert and I was on it. We worked for AEW, we worked for NWA, we worked for New Japan. Dude, we worked for every major wrestling company in 1 year. And it's not because you can't do this with. You understood it. the guys, Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, they still remembered us. We were their idols. So they brought us in. You see, and that was a way of saying, thank you, Ricky Morton. And I'm telling you guys, out of everything in my life, just telling us that gave me complete serenity. I mean, it was the greatest times in our life. And even when we went to AWE, you just couldn't imagine how the boys treated us. So nice. And how the owners treated us, and Matt and Jeff Hardy, when I went to their place, how they treated us, how the Young Bucks treated us, how when we go to NWA, the guys treat you. And see, it's a lot of things that we are going to go back, and I'm going to say this on TV here for people will understand. Do you know Thomas, who I'm talking about, that wrestles for NWA? He's what part of the wild card.
Right.
Him and Roy.
Yeah. Okay.
This is things that you have to understand in our business. I don't go over hot spots. I don't. First of all, I got to get in the ring, if I can trust you. Okay? I'm 63 years old. I got to know if I can trust you in the ring. No, you're not going to call this spot with me and drop me on my damn head because I still depend on wrestling for a living. I locked up with Thomas, snapped him a headlock, and I took him over. And this is hard to be, and I gave him the office. When I gave him the office, he knew, and I don't like to go so far in my business to it because I still kayfabe. I know it's an old thing, but I still do. I don't give a shit. I was brought up that way, and it's always going to be in my blood. But he knew what I was doing. And listen to me, dude. I'm 63 years old. Thomas is a big basketball. Took him, I gave him my office. See, it's working together. At 63 years old, I can't get up as fast as him. He helped me right to my feet. You see? You work in big rings. He don't take me from one corner to another corner. He shoots me off. And see, it ain't what he does. It's what he don't do that makes him one of the best in our business. And that's what you got to understand, guys. And guys that's working our business. This is shit that you got to understand that you don't do. You don't got to go out there and give a guy a clothesline and tear his damn head off of him. No, everybody can do that. It's learning how to work. The greatest business in the world, guys. But a lot of guys have lost. They don't. It's not that they have lost it. They had never learned it. Our business is really great, guys. You know what? And I love being on your show. I'm not trying to cut you short. I have a wife that keeps coming up these steps right here. And you know what? Today in the mail, one of the greatest places in the world, Jimmy Seafood. Mm-hmm. You ever heard of Jimmy Seafood out of Baltimore, Maryland?
I saw your tweet.
Look here. That shit's on the table. You hear me? My wife has done made it. She gave me the Iggy. I hope I fulfill what you're doing. But I wanted to thank you because this right here, what you said to me, I'd never do that. I love to help you, but right now there's a lot of boys in need, and I promise you, we took that money and sent it to some boys that needed it. Okay.
Well, let me tell you one thing, Ricky. It's worth every penny, but I'm gonna tell you this: anyone that needs it, send them my way. We don't mind sending it. We just want to talk. This is like I said. This is like the Babe Ruth and the Mickey Mantle for us growing up. You are our childhood heroes. We wanted to sit down with you for an hour.
Thank you, buddy. Listen, but I want to do this again.
Okay.
But the next one's just have fun. Okay. Hey, remember now, guys that's out there, I have right now I'm shut down because of the coronavirus. School of Morton. I have a YouTube show that comes on School of Morton Facebook every Sunday at 5:05. It's students from my school. We it's unbelievable if you watch it and like it. I'm on Instagram, Babyface Ricky Morton. Facebook, Ricky Morton, School of Morton. But guys, I really want to come back and do your show some more. I hope I didn't bore y'all the whole time.
Not in the least.
Oh, I got you, man. I love this business.
I can't wait the next time. I swear, we enjoyed it.
I met you guys before, hadn't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
You met me.
Huh?
We dressed like you for Halloween. We dressed up like you for Halloween one year.
Yes, you sure did.
We won the Halloween
Yeah.
contest.
You sure did, man. I dressed up like Robert last year. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Somebody asked me, what do you Robert think about this? I said, hell, me and Robert hadn't seen eye to eye in a long time. But no, I love Robert. He's my greatest friend. No, I could say that and get away with it. Nobody else can. Robert and I, not only did we become tag team wrestling partners, but he became my brother. Actually love it. Dude, when you spend 38 years on the road with somebody, that's a long time. Man, people ask us, how did you do that? I said, well, you just don't ride with them every night. You know, you got to get away.
Yeah.
You know, we had our times too, but it never came to be real bad. You know, it's, you know, when you were with each other all the time, you know, I was with him more than my wife for a long time. Hell, I didn't like her either. But no, I'm just kidding. Gentlemen, thank you so much. God bless you all. And I love to come back on your show.
Let me know anytime.
Well, yeah, and this right here is pretty cool because this is all new to me. Just doing it over the air like this, seeing everybody. It's great stuff. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Have a good night.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Take care.